Welcome back to yet another live stream. As you have seen from the thumbnail to the title of today's live stream, you guys have been loving a lot of Talanta, and this is one thing I did realize with a lot of Kenyans, especially while I was in Kenya. A lot of you guys are really, very interested and invested when it comes to development and real estate and things like that. And it just increased my love, and I just found a new path of real estate and developments and constructions. And I said, why not? I'll definitely get time pass by today, as you have seen from the thumbnail to the title of the vlog, and we just discussed Talanta Stadium. Because I feel like also since I started putting out Talanta Stadium videos over the of 3 weeks ago, I just find that a lot of people have a lot of misconcept about almost everything. So today we want to just go over that, discuss it, and hopefully, I can be able to portray out some good information to all of you guys watching or people who will be invested in this topic. Also, the good thing, I usually leave these live streams up, so in case someone has missed it, they can be able to come back and watch them. Tomorrow happens to be a Monday, so I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys are sleeping right now, but tomorrow you'll find it live. Yeah. But when you come in, please don't forget to like the live stream. It really does help a lot and a lot and a lot. Yeah. Then also, I did realize that from yesterday's live stream, the audio was like, oh God, it felt like I was in the forest. Now, the reality is where my place is, it is quite close to a couple of gardens and all that. So you get the night feeling, if that makes sense. And that's why the audio, it feels like out in the gardens or the forest, but just by the veranda, and that's why the audio was literally like that. So Talanta Stadium, I've made my research over and over again, and I've seen a couple of things on the internet, and a lot of people are saying a lot of things in simplicity. But this is what I've came up, especially when I did do my research, when it comes to the location, when it comes to the seating capacity, when it comes to the investment, when it comes to it being a PPP project, when it comes to, the final kind of appearance of the stadium and everything. So that's what we're going to be discussing. And so I have my book here, so I'll just try to make sure that I follow along so that I don't forget anything as we move along. Yeah. So the first thing we want to talk about, guys, it is location. Yeah. Now, Talanta Stadium is actually located along Ngong Road. Is it okay? Yeah, it's along Ngong Road. Ngong Road, it is one of I believe famous. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's one of the very famous roads in Nairobi, Kenya. And just a few kilometers, actually, surprisingly, from CBD to Talanta Stadium, where it is located, and it is in Jamhuri grounds. But also, other people usually say that those grounds are not called Jamhuri grounds; they are called Polo grounds. So I stand to be corrected when it comes to that. But it's along Ngong Road, and also when you look at the way how it is strategically located along Ngong Road, is that there is a forest on one side of it, and there is also a forest is on one side, and vividly when you are coming in, you can be able to see the Ngong forest. When you are coming in, for example, you are moving from CBD, perusing through, you can be able to see where Ngong forest is. Now, where Ngong forest is just opposite, that opposite really work, just opposite of it, you can be able to see where Talanta Stadium is. Yeah. And when I started doing the Talanta videos and Talanta video, a lot of people were quite telling me otherwise, but through research, that is what actually I get, that it is in that location along Ngong Road, near that forest, Ngong forest, and it is in Jamhuri grounds, but some people call it Polo grounds. But also, I stand to be corrected in case someone has other information, but according to what I've read and did my research on, that is the factual fact when it comes to the location. Now, the other thing that a lot of people are I have realized that they get information on, it is actually the pitch size or the field size. Now, I've had some people say that the field size is going to be of 1,000. Now the field size, I'm talking about the pitch, where the football is going to be taking place. I've had some people saying that it's going to be 1,000 to 900. I've had people who are saying that it's going to be 200 to 300. I've had people who are saying that it is going to be like, I've had crazy numbers. And when you actually go back and see some of my first videos on Talanta Stadium, a lot of people predicted otherwise. But according to the research I did find, it's going to be 105 meters by 65 meters. So that is the pitch size. Yeah. 1,000 meters by maybe 900 meters. That is so big, so big, so big. That is basically, I don't know how many hectares of land. That is so big. So I think the best example I could give you is that if you have been to Nyayo Stadium, if you have been to Nyayo Stadium and you have seen the size of the pitch side or the field side of Nyayo Stadium, you can just do a little bit, just a little bit. You can increase that a little bit of meters, and you can be able to, just understand the field size very well. But it cannot exceed more than that, guys. 900, 400, even 400 is so big. You cannot say it is going to be 400 by 300. What is that? That is so big. How can even, these players come into play in such a very big field? It is like, I don't know how many hectares of land. Yeah. Then the other thing that I've heard over and over again when it comes to the videos I've been putting out of Talanta Stadium, it has to be the field kind of, either it's going to be grass, or it is going to be like plastic grass, or it is going to be natural grass, or anything like that. Now, I've also seen on a couple of videos some people actually predicting that natural grass will be quite hard to maintain, and also according to all these particular fields, for example, the fields in London, the Emirates field. I love the way how Kenyans most of the time equate Talanta Stadium to the Emirates Stadium in London. But regardless, I've had people who are predicting that since they are in the same category, that Emirates in London hosts over 60,000 people, and Talanta is also in the same kind of category, so we cannot give it natural grass because otherwise cleaning and all that. But the thing is, when you go and read about different articles and you really do your research very well, you'll come to know that actually the grass is going to be natural grass. I went to Nyayo Stadium before I traveled back to Kampala, Uganda, and I tell you, I was able to experience that grass. That grass is mowed very well, like I wouldn't even believe myself. I've been to a couple of stadiums here in Kampala, Uganda, but the way how that grass was, I can't literally equate. I can't really equate. So that is also a superstition that a lot of Kenyans have been having. Yeah, Talanta Stadium, the field size, and when it comes to the grass kind of material, it is going to be natural grass. Forget about the plastic, forget about whatever they are, just forget about everything. It is going to be natural grass. And I'm pretty sure we shall talk about the amount of money that, the field it is going to take, and the PPP projects upcoming within the video. But according to the amount of money they are willing to invest in this, I'm not pretty certain that considering it to be more of plastic grass or artificial grass would really make sense very well. I don't know why. But in case someone has another opinion, I'm very open. Let me know in the comment section or let me know on screen. But yeah, that is the absolute truth. Then the other thing I want to talk about that I also find quite a lot of people have very many opinions on, it is the start time and the finishing time of this stadium. Now, I've been to this stadium like 2 times. Yeah, to be honest with you guys, I've reached Talanta Stadium 2 times. I've been around it, the whole of it. I've been inside. I've gone through the dungeons. I'm meaning the basement floors. I've been on the top of that stadium. I've been left, right, and center. And before even I go to the time that a lot of you guys are predicting when it started, when it should be completed and all that, the thing is, work looks to be delayed. That is the absolute truth. And the same thing applies to the underpass project. Now, people don't want to hear this, but in case you actually reach the project and see for yourself, it just feels like, it is going to take a little bit much longer than the time predicted, believe it or not. And some people were saying that the project started in May. I've seen people who are saying that it started in June and all that. But to be specific, the project actually started in March. Yeah, March 2024. It started in March 2024, and it is expected to be ending this year. Yeah. They predicted initially that it would take around 1.5 years, maybe 9 months, so that it's completed and all that. It was predicted by 2025 it would actually be done. But according to what I've seen on ground and according to the progress I did live on, I'm not pretty sure that by December this year, that Talanta Stadium will be done, believe it or not. I'm not pretty certain. But that is not the thing. The thing is, a lot of people had a lot of superstitions when it comes to the construction time. when it started, the period of time it is going to take. When you go, you read through your research and do your research very well, just know that it is predicted that it would have taken shorter time, but it feels like it is going to take longer time. Then also, I realized that there have been a cut on workers. They used to have a lot of workers. You know, I don't want to say the amount of workers because I'm not. That is not my role, and through research is not specified. But what I realize is this: right now there has been a massive cut down on workers, and because they say that the workload has reduced a little bit, and maybe that will also contribute to the slow kind of growth of the state, slow kind of accomplishment of the stadium. Yeah. So in case you have any other question about what we have discussed so far, please don't hesitate, leave it in the comment section below. Now the other thing I want to talk about, it is the estimated cost. It is about let me see, about 250 million dollars. That is approximately 49 48 49 49 48 billion Kenyan shillings. But also this will come later on, as we move forward. The other thing I want to talk about, because most of these points we shall find them up front, it is the seating capacity. Now, initially when I came and I did realized a lot of comments continuously on the first video I ever uploaded like 2 months ago of Talanta Stadium. People saying, well, Tanya, you know what? It is not over 65, 67, whatever the case may be. The accurate number that is being, predicted, it is going to be 60,000. Yeah, it is going to be 60,000. Not less than that, not more than that. Whatever we are adding on, whatever different bloggers are adding on, it is just a prediction. It is not a final kind of thing. So at least according to my comment section and what I've seen, a lot of people actually, that they have predicted it right. It is going to be just that. 60,000, not more than that, not less than that. Initially, I got, misinterpreted because initially I thought it's going to be over 65 or 6,500 or 6,000, whatever the case may be. But the accurate number when you come to whatever has been listed on this particular project, it is actually 60,000 people. Now, the other thing, I've talked about the grass already, but the other thing I want to talk about that I find that a lot of people also had misconceptions about it is the Tantrum track. Now, if you watched my Nyayo Stadium video, you would actually agree with me that Nyayo Stadium has one of the most beautiful looking Tantrum tracks. Now, Tantrum tracks or athletic tracks, these are like running areas. They are specifically, they're usually red, and I can't describe them very well for you because this is a video. I can't put a picture video here, but you can Google that after Tantrum tracks. This time around, it is not going to have those. And I think personally, it is not actually also listed in that article where it goes in details about the stadium. But I think why it is not going to have this particular kind of special section for runners, it is because of the design and the intention of the stadium. Now, the intention of the stadium, primarily, it is designed to host the AFCON. AFCON. And also a few other things like rugby and maybe concerts and things like that. But in case this time around there was going to include an athletic running kind of competition or anything like that, I truly believe they would have added it on. But when you see the budget, in case you have to add on certain things like Tantrum track, they were to add on a couple of other things, like for example, what Nyayo Stadium has like a volleyball court and all that. I think the budget would have been overwhelming, and the money would have been so much. And that is my own understanding. In case someone has any other opinion about that, let me know in the comment section below. But it is not going to have a tantrum track, and I think I've tried to explain the tantrum track. If you still haven't got it very well, just go watch my Nyayo Stadium video. It is that red thing, like it is made in a material like when someone is running on it, it can easily it acts as a shock absorber, and it can literally easily absorb their weight so that they can't easily fall or trip and fall or anything like that. In case you have a better explanation, don't hesitate, leave it for me in the comment section below. Yeah. Then the other thing that I find quite important for you to talk about when it comes to Talanta Stadium is that a lot of people don't know that actually we are in a very, very huge competition between East Africa, that is to say, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Remember that Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, they are the OBs and OGs of East Africa before the other East African countries have joined us. So we are in a very, very huge competition between us and some South African countries and North African countries to win this bid of CAF. Yeah. So when we won that bid, believe it or not, this was a very huge thing. And when you look into Uganda, you look into Kenya, you look into Tanzania, we didn't have the stadiums which would actually compete at the international level or the standard level according to the CAF rules or according to people responsible of, offering us this bid. We didn't have any stadium. That's why construction had to start ASAP. Otherwise, this construction would have started like 2-3 years ago in case, But as soon as we won this, and people responsible, the football kind of associations and whoever responsible in the respective countries, they initially saw that we didn't have stadiums that would match the standard of CAF. They said, you know what, we have now to start building. That's why in Kampala, in Uganda today, the Hoima Stadium is literally done. Haven't got time to go there, show it to you guys, but hopefully before I travel, I'll have to plan, go do that, show you how it looks like. But that's why go. And also Kenya, my Kenya, being, the mother kind of hub when it comes to athletics and sports, we are actually hosting a lot compared to our sister Uganda and our brother Tanzania. So that's why you'll find that most of our stadiums are also going to actually still work. For example, our Kasarani will actually work. Nyayo Stadium will also partially work. There's also Chipchoge. Correct me in the comment section below in case I'm butchering anything. Kipchoge, Kipchoge, stadium, all those will actually work. And I think that KFF, Kenya Football kind of, the Kenya Football kind of league, or Kenya Football kind of, association has been able to pass those stadiums, and they have given us concrete numbers when you look at their stadiums on their websites on how much people they are going to be hosting respectively during the AFCON match. Yeah, I'm seeing 4 people in the live stream or 5 people in the live stream. In case you come in, please don't hesitate. Leave for me a like. The like button is somewhere here or there. Today we are discussing about Talanta Stadium because of a lot of misinformation I've seen on the internet. Misinformation you guys have been writing on my videos, especially the Talanta videos. And I just wanted to come here correct a few of these things. Yeah, so already we have talked about the location, we have talked about the intent of the stadium, we have talked about a couple of things already. So right now we are going to construction. Now let me kid you not, when you dive deeper into this research, you find that a lot of contractors actually wanted to be the main contractors of this stadium. I don't know why, but I was looking at different bids all over the world, from Korea, from China, from South Africa, actually also from South Africa. Can you imagine? From Thailand, all these contractors wanted to actually be given an opportunity to build or to be the main contractors of Talanta Stadium. But guess who won? CRBC. They did win the bid. And it is only fair. It is only fair because when you look at work of CRBC, when you look at a couple of projects they have constructed, not only here in Kampala, Uganda, in Kenya, when you look at their work, CRBC, it is one of those sub companies under the CCCC. CCCC is like the China construction, cooperative construction. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but I usually forget that. But it is actually under CCCC. But to go back to CRBC, it is a very, very, it is known for its work, believe it or not. And partially, I was glad that they gave them the opportunity to continue serving the African people, regardless of the fact that, as we see, or we shall see later on, it is partially a PPP project where they are going to be soliciting money from this stadium for years to come, like literally years to come, until when they are kind of whatever they invested in is done. Yeah. So a lot of people wanted this project. A lot of them, I saw companies from Thailand, Smanya, RCD, CCP, like very many of them wanted to take this grant or this bid, whatever you can call it. But the good thing, CRBC took it. CRBC is good, believe it or not. When you look at the eastern and the southern bypass in Nairobi, when you look at like a couple of projects, you guys can witness with me. Those guys are very good, and they don't do shaggy work. They make sure that they do the work, and the work can talk for itself. And I also, through research, I've learned that Asian kind of construction companies and real estate developers also are long gone road. I did realize that, all through research, I did understand that they have actually constructed some good amount of developments are long gone road. And the reason why even investors like would give them contracts most of the time than our native Kenyans, because most of the time they do some good work, you know. And we did a video also with Gabriel a few months ago, and we are talking about this randomly about, you know, constructions and real estate development, and what most of the time puts African contractors back compared to, you know, Western or Asian kind of contractors, because most of the time they really do some good work. Yeah. The other thing that I find also quite important for me to share is that some of our own, not even some of our own, but our own, the KDF, are the main supervisor and security providers when it comes to Talanta Stadium. So I've seen a lot of people also ask me, I've seen emails, I've gotten emails forwarded to me, I've seen messages forwarded to me on how, Tanya, how did you get access, you know, to Talanta Stadium and all that. But the thing is, the security body there, and they just make sure that everything is running very well. There isn't theft, there is good, you know, management when it comes to resources, when it comes to security wise, workers are not stealing things, there isn't illegalities taking place in that huge building. Because let me tell you guys, for you just see Talanta on phone, oh god, you just see Talanta on this video, but Talanta is huge. Oh my good lord, how I wish I would bring you in reality. Wait when it is open. How I wish every person who has interacted with my videos seeing Talanta Stadium can get a chance to be on the opening ceremony. That thing is big, yeah? It is big, it is huge. Just imagine 5 floors. Down there, it is like a dungeon. There is like a basement. Then whatever you see on top, it has a very strong foundation down there. So it was only fair. I truly believe that the KDF also, were involved to make sure that the project is kept very well, and there isn't a lot of theft, and there isn't a lot of illegalities taking place, and to just make sure that, things are moving on smoothly. Then the other thing that I'm pretty sure someone might ask, Tanya, how did they, come to pick the KDF? So I was reading also this particular article, I think it is from NTV Kenya, and they are saying that the specific body within the KDF, that is the construction kind of unit, but under the Kenya Defense Forces, it is the one that is actually supervising. So they are supervising to see the quality of work, and because they're also construction, they have a specialty already in construction, so they know a lot of different things when it comes to finishings, when it comes to a lot of different things. I don't know a lot of things when it comes to constructions, but I think you guys can see or you can understand. Yeah. The other important thing, now we are diving deeper. Tell your friend, tell someone closer to you, we are diving deeper. Now, this is another thing. I did a video, my last Talanta Stadium video. It's about 9,700 views. It's almost at 10,000 views. But I got a lot of, guys, a lot of people have a lot of things to say. But do your research. And this is one thing I want to tell people. Forget about sleeping. You sleep a lot. Don't sleep. Before you sleep, get your phone. Say today, let me do some. Now, people who are in my comment section saying otherwise, this is the information they didn't know. Talanta Stadium is actually a PPP project. It is not going to be fully funded by the Kenyan government. That means that there is a third party. When you go and read these different articles and do your research, you'll find out this. Someone had a lot to say, what, Tanya, don't say what you don't know, because you know that. No. According to what is already displayed, it says this and this and this. Don't assume things. Assumption is not reality, Assumption is not reality. The thing is, Wama means, I don't know how to say it in Swahili, but it means look. Look. The thing is this. It is a PP project, and partially the government of Kenya is is involved, but also we have a third party who is not mentioned. Now that is the shocking part. Even when you ask me, I've dug through the internet. I've dug through the internet, especially today, to just make sure that I find every other time I was getting while I was on work, to dig deep to find who is that third party who is partially funding this project. They are not mentioned. They are just saying that when the time is right, they will be able to mention. That is what they are saying. When the time is right, they will be able to mention. But also, through my research, there is something I did find out, that there is a company known as Lins Finco. Have you guys heard of Lins Finco before? According to my research, and I want to just give you this, it shows that it is a trust subsidiary of a group that listed over 44.79 billion Kenyan shillings. And it is also the same kind of trust subsidiary kind of body that also helped to fund very, very huge other projects within Nairobi, Kenya. So it doesn't say the specific funder, but it just says that there is a body that brought in that. So I'll just leave that at that. I don't want to put a lot of information on it, but what I wanted you guys to just know that it is going to be a PPP project, and PPP projects, most of the time it means that after the construction is done, the trust bond or whatever, that main body they are calling Liz Finco and their third party, they are going to continue collecting money until when they make sure that the 44.79 billion Kenyan shillings they invested in, at least it has been revived. So that is the information on that. It is going to be more of like the express highway or this road that it has been going viral all over. That is going to be starting from, is it Nairobi to Nakuru, then to Mount Summit, where people are going to be paying like 8 Kenyan shillings per kilometer. So in simplicity, that is it. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, now it has to be the inside the Talanta Stadium, because it's also another thing that I did find, that regardless of the fact that I've been making these videos, I've explained to you a little bit when it comes to what is inside the Talanta Stadium. For example, the VVIP rooms, the referee rooms, broadcasting rooms, and all that. But I just feel like I haven't brought you along very well when it comes to the concrete information, when it comes to those different places or those different parts within the stadium. So let's start from the outer bit of it. So the outer bit of the stadium is actually going to follow a design. Now, surprisingly, when I found this through research, I was really, really flabbergasted, But it is going to follow a design that was designed in Nairobi, our own Nairobi, the University of Nairobi. Can you imagine? They called on to different like architecture kind of designers, and they put out that opportunity to make sure that each one can present their own best kind of appearance when it comes to how Talanta Stadium is going to look, especially when it comes to exterior kind of appearance. And my guys from the University of Nairobi, they didn't disappoint, and they are led by Professor Abonyo Emeritus. So that is also a very huge conversation that I don't want to dive deeper into, but just know that design of the Maasai kind of bow and arrow and the shield, all that was designed at the University of Nairobi. And there were a lot of different contributors who brought in different designs, but theirs fortunately enough did win. It fortunately enough did win. And some people actually also were saying, Tanya, it's not the national emblem, it is some people were calling it the what, even I'm forgetting. Some people were telling me that, the shield and the spear, it's not the national emblem, Tanya, it is something else. But according to what I see, it is the national emblem. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's time to be corrected, but correct me if I'm wrong. Some people say that it is not the national emblem, that it is I'm forgetting whatever they call it. But according to what I've seen and what I've read, it is our national kind of emblem of Kenya. Now, deep inside the stadium, I've already told you we are going to have VVIP rooms, and these VVIP rooms, when you go back to those videos, especially the current video I've done about Talanta, like before the current video, you will definitely see I go deeper to just give you a broader view when it comes to the VVIP rooms. They are going to be quite extensive, quite big, and they are going to have amazing kind of, glass kind of windows. There are going to be quite many. I don't want to be specific with the numbers because according to the article I did see, when it comes to specifics of those VVIP rooms, they don't specify it until when they have been able to, finish whatever they have to finish. But we have VVIP rooms. We're going to have a medical center inside there. And also surprisingly, the medical center is going to be quite close to the VVIP rooms. So that is also quite good. Not even quite, but it is very good. Yeah, it is very good, because when I say quite good, it means that giving double kind of opinions. But yeah, we are going to have that also just closer to the VVIP rooms. Then we shall have changing rooms. Now, when you go back and watch some of those videos I did do about Talanta Stadium, you'll also realize that the changing rooms, actually, they are down. And the reason why they put them like down before you go to the basement kind of floor, it is intentional, because remember, we have already talked about the pitch size, we have talked about the pitch grass and all that. So we are looking at accessibility. How accessible can both teams playing be able to access the stadium? So they are on the first floor, not the basement floors, but on the first floor, and there easily they can just come in and enter within the stadium and do whatever they have to do. Then also, according to CAF, they had a specific kind of requirement when it came to Talanta Stadium. They wanted to make sure that they put in their referee rooms. They had a request, put in their referee rooms. So this time around, for our referees, they'll literally have their own private rooms, private bathrooms. And also, mind you, when it comes to the VVIP rooms and whatever rooms, the medical center and what other rooms you're going to be talking about, like all of them, some, not all of them, but some of them will have their own private bathrooms and washrooms. So that is also amazing. Kayamba. Yeah. The other thing, it is about hospitality chambers. We shall also have hospitality chambers in there. Then we shall have an ICT. Oh, I was going to butcher. Computer ICT kind of room also inside there, where a lot of CCTV camera monitoring and ICT kind of technology is going to be. But also this time around, TV, broadcasting, radio, all that will also have their own room. So they will not be in conjunction with the general computer kind of room. Yeah, they will not be in conjunction with all those guys. For them this time around, ICT will be on its own, and broadcasting and kind of TV and radio will also be in their own kind of area. Yeah, so I think I've been able to give some good information about that. The other thing I want to talk about, it is size of the land, because it's also another thing that I've found that a lot of people are quite intrigued when it comes to Talanta Stadium. And some people say that it is like on 6 hectares of land. Some people say that it is on 4 hectares of land. I've seen a video where someone is saying that it is on 30 hectares of land. According to the trusted sources or article I did read from, it is on a 44.5 hectares of land. And now, this is what confuses people. When I say 44.5 hectares of land, they think that the whole stadium, like the whole of it, it is actually seated on 44.5 hectares of land. It is not like that. The stadium, it's on the area we mentioned earlier on. But now, that land partially include the outside kind of the stadium. Now, that is like land reserved for the stadium. Like the background of the stadium, the front yard. Actually, it is the backyard. The backyard of the stadium, the front yard, the other things that are going to be on the side, as we shall explore more when the project continues moving, a couple of mini other stadiums, a couple of recreation centers, like a couple of other things. All these other things are actually stayed on that 44.5 hectares of land. And also, what I did find through my research is that it's going to be the most professional stadium. Oh God, we are so blessed in Kenya. It is going to be the most professional stadium within the East and Central Africa. I believe so. Within East and Central Africa, to continue attracting more and more kind of games over time, and more concerts, those big concerts. I think you guys have heard of those big concerts, musical concerts. So it is going to be quite a very professional place, and yeah, we are just so glad that at least we gotten that opportunity as a country. Yeah, I'm seeing 4 people in the live stream. Please, when you come in, make sure that you like the live stream. It really does help a lot. And in case you have anything to say, contribute to the conversation. I can't be it all. I can't know it all, In case you want to contribute to the conversation, don't hesitate, leave for me the comment in the comment section below. Yeah, that would be amazing. The other thing I want to talk about it is the height size, because I've seen also some misinterpretation when it comes to the height size, especially from the ground floor to the, like from the from the ground kind of measurement all the way to the tip of the stadium. It is going to be about 56 meters, so it is not going to be less than that or more than that, at least according to what I've read through their kind of information they put out to the public. It is going to be around 56 meters, so not less than that, not more than that. Guys, the reason why I wanted even to do this video is that I've seen so many videos about misinterpretations about this stadium, and I don't know even why, but I just wanted to come here, correct out a few things that I find quite outrageous, especially when it comes to that particular stadium. Yeah. The other thing, it's about the steel structure. I think you guys have seen those things. They're like this. Those things, I think you guys have seen them. They're on the, around the whole of the stadium. I think you guys have seen them. So those ones are also going to be made in a slightly very light material. It's a kind of metal that is quite used very very often right now when it comes to stadiums. It is quite light, but it is not going to be like the normal steel we usually use, steel and whatever the case may be. It is quite very durable and all that. Oh, someone is saying that I like the way your passion on Kenya and Kenyan issues. You now belong here. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Kaka George. Thank you very much, George. I appreciate the love and support. Since I've been in Nairobi for so long, and right now I know a couple of things about Nairobi, I think it's only fair for me to just, stand in and be able to, contribute something small to a country that has blessed me. I've gotten a lot of friends. I've gotten a lot of, traction. I've, been there. So it's only fair for me to just come in and also try to, add in whatever small thing I can add in. Yeah. I think I've talked about whatever we have to talk about when it comes the steel. I was still telling you guys about the steel structure. Those steel kind of material, they are going to be also quite light, so they will not weigh more than 10,000 tons. They will not weigh more than that, because also you have to put into consideration that regardless of the fact that it's a 56-meter high kind of building. Kaka said again, Tanya, I like your passion. Okay, I had read this. Thank you very much, Kaka. I appreciate the love and support. Yeah, I appreciate the love and support. So I'm still telling you guys that regardless of the fact that it's going to be quite tall, 56 meters, and regardless of the fact that it is a 5-floor kind of building and all that, we don't also want to overweight it with these heavy materials, because of the fact that we want to make sure that the design comes out very well of the national emblem of Kenya. No, we don't want to do that. We want to also make sure that whatever material is being used outside, it is quite light, to make sure that it is not also overpowering when it comes to the stadium itself. Yeah. Right now I want to talk about, guys, the roof and the canopy. Yeah, because I think that the video is already long. I didn't intend to make a very long video, but yeah, I want to talk about the roof and canopy. Now, this is also another thing that a lot of people have been having a lot of issues on. The first time I went to Talanta Stadium, they were just starting on making sure that they put up the roof. And the way how actually this roof is designed, how I wish I can be able to have the right words to explain to you. But what they do, or what I did see they do, like they get those different roof materials. For example, if this is the one of the roof kind of joint, they bring it together, they join it from down, like they join half of whatever they are going to be putting up from down. They join it very well, and they join it very precisely, and like these guys are very careful. I spent there a couple of minutes just looking at. I got an opportunity to actually find them doing this, and someone is explaining to me now that this is how they are joining together these small parts of the roof, so that the cranes can carry one by one on top of the building. And I think you have also seen those particular I'm looking for the right word to explain to you guys. But I think you have seen, like right now, the level at Talanta Stadium is, especially when it comes to the roofing part of it, it has a lot of different lines, lines, and those lines are more of like metal, strong kind of lines or wires. They resemble barbed wires, but they are not barbed wires. So they are twisted together. Also, the material is quite light. Actually, the material is going to resemble the same material that is going to, it's being used to make the outer kind of base of the membrane, where the national membrane, that is the spear, and the shield is going to sit. So they make sure that they combine everything from down, then the cranes carry up. Right now, I think they have carried out most of the roofing part of it, and what is remaining, it's more of the membrane. Yeah, the membrane, meaning that it is going to be like a smooth curtain that is made from a material that is quite durable, between a polyester and a poly something. I don't want to be specific with this information because Kenyans will attack me, but just want to know. But what you have to just know is that the material is going to be a very light membrane between, now let me just give you this, between a rubber and plastic, and rubber and plastic, but very, very durable material, very, very durable material. And that actually will be going up last. It is part of the last things that will be going up after everything has been lifted up. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have actually tried to explain everything when it comes to Talanta Stadium, and maybe as I accomplish up the video, the last information I would love to just say is that the chairs this time around are not going to be like inclining chairs. I've seen a couple of people in my comment section saying, "Oh, Tanya, how did you see those chairs?" According to how I saw the chairs are going to be the same like those of Nyayo Stadium, especially for this ordinary kind of seat section. It is going to be exactly the same. We are not going to be having folding chairs like the ones at VVIPs or VIP. For example, those ones which are in Nyayo Stadium. I think if you've been to Nyayo Stadium and you have seen the VIP section, they have those inclining chairs. They look so good, and they also look to be quite comfortable. But they went in also with this design like the one at Nyayo Stadium for Talanta Stadium. So I also did see the chairs, and that will be like that. Then also, the other thing that a lot of people don't talk about it is the elevator system. Talanta Stadium is also going to be having elevator system, especially moving up and down. Nyayo Stadium doesn't have so, Kasarani doesn't have so. This is why we are talking about Talanta Stadium changing the game of stadiums on the continent. It is going to have 3 elevators, not 3. Okay, what I'm meaning, 3 at every section. We shall have elevators at the section of the back of the stadium, and 2 at the back, at the front of the stadium. The same thing the other side, the same thing the other side, but 3 like quadro. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Yeah. That's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to Talanta Stadium. Then the other thing I did see, it's about the finishing. I think you guys have seen a couple of buildings in Nairobi where there isn't like the outer, some of the outer part is not finished. Yeah, so the goal is for some parts within the stadium, especially inside, they'll do the rough finishing. I think you guys, you are Nairobians, you know, don't make me talk a lot of English. There are some buildings you see in Nairobi, yeah? And like for example, you see my behind this wall, there isn't that paint, but there is just a rough cement kind of finishing. So there are some areas also within the stadium that are going to be intentionally left like that to just make sure that they reflect a little bit of, you know, when it comes to conservation building and, you know, something like that. So not every place is going to be plastered and everything is going to be made sure that it is looking sleek, pure, clean. No. And then what else? I think in conclusion, that is it. Maybe also when it comes to the front yard of the stadium, I did realize that they are going to reflect a lot on greenery and plants, and making sure that they plant a lot of, you know, plants generally. Just know that that is the vision. When you look at the 3D kind of appear, especially what is updated on the CRBC of Talanta Stadium, specifically Talanta Stadium. You can be able to see that it is going to be looking absolutely very, very beautiful, especially the front yard. There is a section where a lot of people can go sit and chill. There is also a section where there are going to be a couple of shops. There's also a section where they are going to be like an academy kind of school or something like that. So it is going to be really, really massive. Yeah, I think with that, guys, that brings me to the end of the video. I'm very excited to wait and see what you guys will comment about the video. I know I'm not perfect when it comes to this information, but I hope that I've been able to set something straight when it comes to some information. Correct me in the comment section below. Yeah, don't hesitate. I'm also human. Correct me. And some of these articles, I also go through them, but I don't trust all of them 100%. Maybe the one I did read from the Kenya Football kind of league website. I think I trust that a little bit, and also the one from the one that in CRBC where they talk about Talanta Stadium and they go deeper into details. I trust that a little bit, but not every information I trust it. But I hope that I've been able to break down for you what I've come to know as a person who was at Talanta Stadium 2 times during the construction and what I've seen. I hope I've been able to debunk some of whatever has been wrong when it comes to information people have been providing. Yeah, so that brings me to the end of the live stream. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. In case you have any contribution, don't hesitate, leave them for me in the comment section below, and let me meet you in tomorrow's live stream. Yeah.